Good morning, guys. It is Saturday and I'm going to be starting something new this morning. It's week 3 of more starts May and yeah, I'll be starting something new. So I'm just about to start for the day. As you can see, I actually gridded, if you can call this gridding, because the first in the middle, the first colours are I think about 45, 50 long. I didn't want to count that long, but they are 20 on either side, so I figured if I count this way, then I can go up, around, and when I come down I'll know. But I did not grid very much. I grid 10, 2 10 by 10 lines. Anyway, this is an allotment. I will try and get a picture up and pop it here in the corner. And let's begin. So this is 3 hours worth of effort. As you can see, I did manage to finish my vegetable bed and I put in my little scarecrow with his little hat. This actually wasn't that much of a fun stitch, because there's lots and lots of just stitching the same colour in a row for like 40 stitches and then going back again. But I think it's going to be very, very colourful. It's a lot more colourful than I expected, because the preview is actually very dull. They must have put a filter on it, but this is gorgeous, so I'm happy with it. That's what I'm going to do next time. I was trying to get the vegetable bed underneath, and you can see I went a little bit to the left before I remembered that hoops exist. And we're in one. I'm really tired today because yesterday I hurt my arm, bruised it. And of course it's the arm I sleep on, so every time I rolled over to sleep on my arm, like I normally do, my arm was like, fuck you, wake up. So yeah, not the most fun, but today we're working on a whip, and we're going to be working on dimensions lines, which is really good because I have missed my lines a lot. So this is where I'm at with about an hour's stitching today. I will be doing, it's another one of those calendar pieces. I had to change out the red on the strawberries for a much darker red because I just didn't have the red they called for. And the same with the house. The house is called for a colour I don't have. Both the roof isn't blue, those are mountains by the way. Both the roof and the side of the house are both different colours than I have, but that's fine because I'm cannibalising old projects for thread. But I really like this vine. I did have to rip out the stitches here a few times for counting, but I'm very happy with it, I think. So I'm going to go get a cup of tea, and then I might do the rest of my house. Might do my last strawberry. I've done a bit of a strawberry craze lately. Strawberry yoghurt, strawberry smoothie, a second strawberry yoghurt. No actual strawberries, unfortunately. It's been a storm today. We had lightning and lots of rain, so that was really cool. I'm not even sure I showed you what I did on my lines, did I? It was lots of grass. If not, I guess I can cut it in. We didn't have a great day yesterday. And to be honest, I'm kind of losing my stitchy bug a little bit. I don't think that doing lots of different projects is really the way I enjoy stitching. I think I like to sit on one for a little bit. But I'm going to do a huge retrospective at the end, so look back and see what I liked and what I didn't. But yeah, I really like this red actually. I know it's a lot darker than the one they called for, but to me it looks like those mini strawberries you get. You know, like the alpine strawberries. Oh, they're the best. They're not as big as these though, obviously. But they are delicious, and they are this deep, dark red, and they're so sweet. You eat them by the handful, man. I should grow some here. I did once try to grow a cutting in my house in Basildon, first time I moved away for a job instead of for uni or school. And my dad gave me a cutting of a strawberry plant to grow, or maybe my granddad, maybe both. Anyway, it died, I didn't water it enough, which is the story of a lot of my plants, but I'll do better next time. first of all, behold the chaos that is me trying to cross stitch. So this is obviously my alts. Anyway, so this was 2 hours, sorry, of progress. I think I will just finish the yellow because I did substitute it. That was one of the colours I substituted. And then there is just the ecru in the windows and the little flowers, the strawberry flowers, the top of the mountain, and then obviously the back stitch in 3799, but that's called for ecru in 3799, whereas this is a substitution. So I think I will finish off the yellow in the middle of the flowers, and then I can put this away and kind of know that I'll know what colour to use next time. I am going to buy, the reason this envelope is here is I am going to buy 3801 because that's the red that should have been used in the strawberries. I'm really happy with substituting it here, but I don't think it would look as good substituted into this lighthouse of July. So I think I will have to buy 3801 for the lighthouse. But yes, otherwise it was alright. It was pretty fun to stitch on this, although I did stitch very late. I could not persuade myself that I was tired last night at all. This morning I'm having no issues. So yeah, I'll finish off the flowers now, and then I will move on to my new start, which is right there. So this is the Buds and Blooms Biscornu from Cross Stitcher magazine. And I need to go and resub to Cross Stitcher, I think, because I'm going to be moving to a digital subscription. I don't really like free gifts. I know I'm horrible, but I don't like the quality of the threads. I love the projects, I just don't like the quality of the threads and the fabric. So I don't mind missing out on the free gifts, and obviously then I won't have the physical magazines, but I'm sorry. But I will still have all of the patterns, which is the most important thing. And this month's cross stitcher looks fantastic. There's this beautiful ship in it, so yeah. So this is what 2 hours of stitching gets you. As you can see, I've done about half, just less than half of the inner design. Then there's 2 borders more to do. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a lot of colour changes and changing your needle to make sure that you get all of the shading correct. Just a lot of reading the pattern really, but I think it looks good. It's kind of like a mandala, or a mandala, as you would say in America. You know, you've got 2 different greens here and 2 different blues, one on either side, although this is apparently a green. If you look at the colours, this one is called green, this one is called lime, then this one is called green again, and then this one is called teal, but I would actually call this one teal and this one blue. I'm not going to argue. 3 different shades of pink and a lavender. And then of course they've given you this lovely fabric and some buttons just to finish off the design. So I do think it looks lovely. I've tried to park my red stitches here, which obviously had nothing to park against, underneath some green, as you can see here, hoping that it will be hidden. It's not parking. Finish. Pin stitch, there we go. And yeah, got some stitches here to finish. And some missing stitches, 2 different shades of pink in this corner before I can call this section complete. It is kind of fun though, but it's very mysterious because you've got to keep checking, like, oh, have I got everything, or are there still things to go, things missing? But it's getting late. I've got my cup of tea, and obviously I've got my pattern there, and yeah, just listening to my audiobook and getting ready for bed, really. It's pretty much the ins and outs of it. It is Wednesday, May 19th, and I haven't had a chance to stitch yet. It is now 7 o'clock PM, and this is the secret project, so I'm fairly sure that the intended recipient will not see it, so I'm confident I can show you guys it. This is how far I am, and I'll need to mind it. And today we're going to aim to finish this column on the first page. So the pattern is 4 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously 3 and 4 are quite a bit smaller. So if I finish this column, I think that hits us to like half the stitches easily. There's a ton of blended stitches in here. This is a blend. Oh, let me get some scissors. Luda would be mad. Pointing with my fingernails. Yes, where were we? So I think this is a blend, and then this is a different blend. This is such a gorgeous pattern. I had a look online, but it isn't actually available anymore, unfortunately. The Etsy seller no longer sells it, but it was originally made for white fabric. So I swapped it to black, but it would stand out a bit more. These colours are just gorgeous. So yeah. Hello, it is May the 20th, Thursday, and it's 6:53 p.m. Yesterday I did not do that much cross stitching. As you know, my goal was to finish this column, and I clearly failed. I did a little bit here, but I was asked to play a game to help someone get an achievement, and I wanted to do that, so I did it. Not much more to go really to finish this page. That, like I said, the page finishes here, and I would like to finish this either in or by November, so that it can be a Christmas present. I love the colours, I really do. I think they're so beautiful. You might not be able to tell, but I have a really bad headache today. I've not even been able to work all that much. Luckily it was mostly just admin and checking other people's work, but took a 2-hour lunch break, so I thought maybe it would hurt less. It did not. Hopefully the painkillers will start to work at some point today. Anyway, so I thought I would do this one because I think I could take this to bed and it wouldn't be too much of an issue. The only issue, I guess, will be that I need to mark the centre of my chart, because this is done in, you can't really tell, but this part here at the top is on separate perforated paper than the rest of it to make it look fluffy. So you need, again, like the orca, you need to be careful where you start. I've learnt my lesson there, so I think this is a really cute little jumper. I love the Mill Hill collections. I love the look of them. I would like to try and stitch one. Let's see if I can even, this might have been too much, I might have to go back to bed, but let's see if I can maybe do some stitching. Fuck, I hate headaches. Ah. So I have been cross-stitching for just under an hour, with a little break in between for resting my eyes and, waiting for painkillers. And this is how far I am. So again, crinkle, crinkle. Oh, bit of glare. But this is what it will look like. So I am really very far away into it. I'm following the instructions because this is my first small Mill Hill kit. So I'm doing all of the stitching and then all of the beads. There's no back stitch in the pattern at all. There's a lot of beads. Honestly, we have a problem. First of all, I'm so far ahead already, look. Second of all, I am loving this. I'm actually loving this. I'm flying. I didn't expect to love it this much, and I'm just really, really happy. Now you might think, Kat, that doesn't really sound like a problem, which is fair. That would be a fair take. But the problem is that I now want to buy all of the little tiny collections, all of them, and I mean all of them. I'm not going to. I'm going to wait until at least I've done the beads and maybe buy 1 or 2. But now, I have this sort of invisible, that's not the right word, subconscious, not even that really, just desire. I just have this desire to buy one of these in every single order I make ever from Casa Sanina now. I'll be buying one of these small kits. Now, I'm going to do my best, my absolute best, to wait until I've put some beads on. I can't promise anything. There's a jar of honey and a jar of jam I want to do for spring or summer maybe. Oh, they're just amazing. They're just so cute and so much fun to stitch. I genuinely am flying through this. Flying. So yeah, I'm going to keep going and, actually I'm not probably, but we'll see. I've got a cup of tea for some, and some oats. for sustenance. I'm going to have a Snickers soon, I think, and maybe take a little bit of a break again to rest my eyes, because I don't want to overdo it, you know? But it has it has now been 2 hours of stitching, and I have almost finished all of the stitches on the bottom half, so the sleeves and the tummy. And I only have left just a little bit on the sleeve, then I can move on to the top half. I've so thoroughly enjoyed this. If I didn't have to work tomorrow, it's 11. If I didn't have to work tomorrow, and if I didn't have a headache, I imagine I would just sit here and not move for hours, and my Fitbit would be very angry with me, and I would just finish this in one go, because this has been an addictive stitch, I'm telling you now. I don't know. I had no idea I would enjoy it. I knew I would enjoy it. I wouldn't have started it if I didn't think I would enjoy it, at least the end product, right? But this has been so much fun. Seriously. Gonna have to start collecting these now. That's the problem. Oh, no, cat, wait until you've done the beads, damn it. Tomorrow we're starting something new. Saturday we're starting an amazing new project. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for everything I've started, to be honest. I was getting a bit weary in the middle, a bit bogged down. Oh, but now I'm so happy. This has really, like, maybe I should have done more mill hill kits. I only have this one, so that would have been kind of hard. I have more mill hill kits, but I have bigger ones, and I think I'm definitely down. Definitely here today for the smaller ones. Just can't believe how fast it's stitched up. That's incredible. I also love the way that the perforated paper is part of the jumper. Oh, just... Well, I should probably go to bed, brush my teeth. Just had some cereal. Wasn't as tasty as I expected. I have my favourite cereal. And then there's a Lion maybe? Equivalent that's in more stores because they're a bigger brand. Maybe no. Anyway, but it's not anywhere near as tasty as like store brand one. So going back to the store brand one as soon as I can. Like a basic person, I prefer the store brand. Yeah, I think I've just decided to start something new in August. I think because I'll have June and July to finish up all the smalls and make some progress on the big ones. Then in August I can start something new, I think. I think that's my plan. My focus piece for August is also the Orca fridge magnet from last week, so I think I can finish that and start something new. I'm not sure though, because obviously I'll have to earn it. We'll see. But I think it'd be fun to, it's with Linda from Linda's 144 Hobbies. She is starting Super Size Max Colour at some point this year, and I'd really like to start it with her. What? Super Size Max Colour? Amazing Animal Kingdom. It's the bookshelf with all the animals. I think it'd be so much fun to stitch something with her. She's an amazing person. She's so warm and lovely. So I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted. But I can't really, you know, well, you might not know, I've been a bit addicted to dimensions lately. Not necessarily stitching dimensions so much as buying them. So I've got a lot of dimension stash now. An embarrassing amount of dimension stash. And obviously I've got my birthday present that I'd like to start from my mum, because she was really nice and bought me the Cafe by the Sea, which I've wanted for a really long time. We'll see. Maybe I'll start everything. I'm just a wild, out of control person. I mean, I'm not going to ever be one of those people with like 500 whips. I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel worthy of it, I suppose. Don't have enough self-confidence. I like to have a few that I can touch everything in a month and feel like I've made progress on everything in a month, or maybe 2 months max. And you can't really make progress in a day unless you're stitching this. A couple things surprised me with this. First thing, it's all stitched in 3 strands, which makes sense because it's, you know, a fluffy sweater. Second thing I already said was the fact that it was stitched in 2 parts and then you cut out the part and stuck it on. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. But it's a little bit weird. Third thing was the key's actually a bit wrong in 2 places. I mean, they're not big issues. Let me show you. So this symbol, this line, this isn't the line for cutting out. The line for cutting out is a solid black line. There's no dashes on it at all. And then this, you can see that they've put stars next to these three, and they've said these are together in one bag. No, they're not. So they said white and pure royal blue and rich red, all in the same bag. So I should be able to look at this one and see white, red, and royal blue. And in this one there would just be the petite sapphire. But this is not the case. Luckily, I can tell the difference between royal blue and petite blue. It's not really an issue. But I just thought it was really weird that they were like, yes, you will definitely find these three in one bag. Will I heck? Also, I'm keeping my needle. This is my needle. As you can see, it's outside of the bag. It's on the magnet that will go on the back of my fridge magnet / needle minder jumper. I haven't decided which one it is yet. Whether it's going to be a needle minder or a fridge magnet. Possibly both. Possibly during the summertime, spring, summer, autumn, it will be a needle minder on my Christmas projects. Well, heck, I've got that Christmas tree now. Going to be using that Christmas tree. And then in the winter, it will go onto the fridge, maybe something like that. I think it's so pretty though. I should go to bed, I'm tired and I'm rambling. But you guys don't need to hear me ramble. So I will speak to you tomorrow when we start a sampler. So it is Friday, the 21st of May, and we just started the first few stitches of this Sweetheart Tree sampler, Plumberry sampler. I'm very intimidated. There's a lot of specialty stitches. Like this one looks really complicated. This is all specialty stitches. Just backstitch here. I feel like I can take the backstitch. Maybe not this backstitch though. By the time I get to the over 1 alphabet, I feel like it will be a relief. It doesn't start from the centre. It starts right from the outside border. And I think you guys all know how I feel about starting in borders. E.G. don't. It's so hard. But I'm going to follow the instructions because I think with the way that this is done, I could probably count. Since you don't start in the centre, and they give you the fabric, I wasn't sure where to start, so I measured 2 inches in, and then a little bit out, because they tell you how big the pattern is, and how big the fabric is, the count. So I figured with those two informations I could figure it out. Also, look, there's a huge slug here, and here, right in the centre of my little square. So hopefully that's not going to be too much of an issue. But yeah, I'm excited and also terrified. My border doesn't match up. I made a mistake. You see here there's only 2, and here there's 3. I made a mistake. I'm going to have to rip all of this out and start again. Right, I have fixed it. As you can see, should probably have started a bit more in the middle, but we'll survive. Corners line up. Really nice variation on the thread. I can start my inner next band, but I'm going to go for a walk. This was around 40 minutes, not counting frogging and restitching time. That's not too bad. So it is Saturday morning, and I just spent around 20 minutes just to bring this up to 2 hours of work. So what you see before you is 2 hours worth of work. It's surprisingly hard to count backstitch, especially when it's offset by half a stitch. But it looks really good. I'm loving this colour combination. These are my favourite colours, and my favourite colours together, purple and green, so I'm very happy with my work here. And for those of you who like to see the back, it does actually not look that bad. So yeah, pretty proud. And now I'm going over to a new whip. Can you guess what it is? So this is a new start for me, but I bought it started by someone else. And it is this beautiful innocent cardigan by Dimensions Gold. And I'm so excited. My first stitches are in, and they are these black ones. Wow. This will be a fawn the lady is carrying in her arms, these legs. I didn't stitch them. But I would like to go upwards because a bit more contained, sorry. I really should go down and make sure there's no mistakes in counting or anything, but I think I'll go up. It could be more fun to have something of my own that I know did from start to finish. These little symbols on her waistcoat are all blended with the burning filament. I'm not quite ready to. I'm a coward, so I'm not going to be doing that just yet. And there's a lot of it. It's all the way down her dress here, all the way down. I think it's the same as in here. But like I said, I'm a coward, so I'm going to be sticking to the normal, non-blended cross stitch for now. So this is what she looks like after 2 hours. You may not remember, but I did everything from these black stitches. That is blue or white. I didn't do these browns or oranges. I did these blue and white ones, and then I did their hands coming in here. So these are the hands that will be holding this fawn. I'm nearly done with the hands. There's only one blended thread to go on top of these and in between, and then that will be finished, and I can move on to either the coat, which is this lovely purple colours, or the fawn. The body of the fawn will go here, which is holding the fawn. However, that is the end for today. I've got one more project, and then my mania is over. So tomorrow I'll be picking up a pandemic again. You might be thinking, Catherine, why did you only stitch for 2 hours today? It was a Saturday and you had no work. Certainly what I'm thinking. No. The answer is that I played a lot of Resident Evil, a lot more than I usually do. About 3 hours, I think. I stitched a bit in the morning, as you know, on my sampler. And also, I actually did some writing today, which is the first time for a long time I've had an idea that I'm very excited about. So I've been working on that. So yes, I am a bit worried about these blues because on the picture, on the cover photo, she's nowhere near as blue as this. In fact, I can show you. I just move some threads around a bit. Here's the cover photo, and as you can see, it's really more of a grey on her arms, whereas here it's really more of a blue. But I'm hopeful that it will be fine because I had a look, and I don't think that can be anything other than the colours called for. So here you can see the lovely fawn nestled against her. I mean, the colours on Dimensions kits always look a bit different than the preview anyway, and they're still gorgeous, so yeah, I'm not too worried, I suppose. And I've got all of these lovely wings to do. And another set of lovely wings up there, look. So it's really been nice putting some of my own time into this because obviously I was so in love with it that I bought it even though it had been started. So you kind of forget that people don't sort threads the same way that you do until you end up in a situation where you either inherit or buy someone's work. They've done something very different than I would have done, but it's working. It's working really well. So it's now bedtime, I think. I'm going to make some toast, play a little bit of Pokemon Snap, and then go to bed because I'm too tired to focus on this. But I do think it's gorgeous, I really do. And I'm looking forward to continuing up to see that little fawn nestled in her arms. Actually, a lot of what I did today, and I've just remembered this now, is I spent about 2 hours working out if I could get away with only ordering about 100 threads in order to start Animal Kingdom on the second shelf. So on page 27, I think? No. I think it's around 100, at least 150 different colours in that page. So I'm thinking, and I only have like 5 of them. So I'm thinking I'm going to save up next month. I mean, do my best to at least buy all of the threads I need for that first page in Africa with the cheetah. And then move on to buying the rest of the threads once I've earned them, once I've finished that page. We'll see. I mean, some of them might be in the heids that I currently have kitted up already, but I don't like sharing floss between projects, because if you run out and have to get a new thread and then you get a different dye lot, it can look really bad depending on where you are. So I really prefer to kit up all of my heids individually, but that's a very expensive setup cost for a very long and slow rewarding process. Oh look, she hasn't finished even stitches, in the purple. Or he, could be a he. I think it was a she that sold it to me, but it could be a he that stitched it. Anyway, I love the shadowing effect here with the greens and the black. So I'm sure I will love the finished piece. And her hands probably don't look too pink. It's probably all in my imagination. I don't want to put this away, but I'll tell you one more day of structured stitching, and then I can go back to stitching whatever I like. Which, to be honest, will probably not be this one, because I really want to get the number of projects I have down. I can't show you right now because the shrimp are asleep, so it's dark in the corner. But the little box where I keep all of my works in progress is now overflowing with works in progress. And I really want to get that down to a manageable size, because we actually have that exposed to the room. So I don't want it to be messy, is what I'm saying. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to finish Hearty, so that's ready to go. Maybe finish that jumper, so I know if I need to buy every single millhook kit in the universe. Finish the orca. Just essentially finish all of the smalls. And then also be putting in 100 stitches a day on Endless Orange Skies, which is over here. Because obviously that one needs to... Well, not obviously. That one has a prompt associated with it this month, where I need to stitch, I think it's 500 or 600 stitches. And I've only done about 100 so far, so I really need to get going on that one for the monthly prompts. Alright, I'm going to go get that toast and go to bed. But lovely to talk to you. Have a lovely evening or day. Don't know when you're watching this, obviously. And I will speak to you in about a second. But for me it will be tomorrow. For you, it will be a second. So this is my last project of Maynia, which is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, stitched with Mrs. Sadie's Silk Darling and Mrs. Sadie's Silk Starburst. That's not it. But it's the red and orange colour. And I am going to try and finish as much of the orange and red here as I can. Supernova. It's Mrs. Sadie's Silk's Supernova, the red and the orange. And yes, I'm going to try and finish the sun at the centre, bottom, the centre of what I've stitched so far, because it would be nice to have it done. It's the main reason. I hope everybody's well, and it is Sunday, the 23rd of May today. Hooray, it is done! All of the red is now stitched. There's a bit of orange in the red here. It's supposed to be all red, but I decided that fussy cutting today was not my style. And it matches sort of the oranges here as well, so it's not too bad. I'm really proud of it. I just need to now finish up page 2, do all of the blue. This is where page 2 stops. So we do all of the blue. Then I can, all of the bluey green, I guess. It's really fast, so that was, I don't know, it's only 3:30. And let me check how many stitches it was. 323 stitches, and, in that time, I was also editing my video for YouTube for week 2, uploading it, trying to learn how to use the program that I used to edit it, eating. So yeah, it's been really fast. I love monochrome pieces for that reason. They are just, you just fly through them, really. And I think this is looking so beautiful. Really, really proud of it. Obviously I didn't design it. That was Long Dog Samplers. But I think it's so gorgeous. So yeah, I want to finish framing now the sun with blue, because I think once I have the sun, like I said, page 2 finished, and we have like a frame around here, it will just look magnificent. Whenever I pull this out and stitch on it, I can, I fly through it and I have so much fun, and I just don't ever want to put it down. And then as soon as I put it back in the bag, I'm like, oh, that pandemic, ew. Oh, I have so much left to do. So I don't know what's going on with this pattern, but it's beautiful, is it not? So I did actually manage to finish. The star, and indeed I worked quite a lot of this blue flower as well. So I did almost 600 stitches today. I did 598. If I had some silk cut, I would probably put in those last 2 stitches. But because I don't, and because then I'd have to park, and I don't know, it just didn't feel worth it. But this is how far I got. I added a bit to this here, this flower. I added obviously all of this, and finished off the middle bit, and I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. So that is the end of my Maynia experiment. I worked on 23 different projects, one for every day of the first 23 days of May. There is some fluff from a jumper. And so I'm really happy with the experiment. I'm really glad I did it. I do have some thoughts that I'll share with you in an upcoming Stitch With Me video. But right now I'm going to get a cup of tea because my throat's quite dry. And then I'm going to do some writing, I think. It's exciting. I'm very close to being finished with page 2. As you know, this is page 2. In fact, this rabbit's on page 2. Its bum is on page 2. So all of this is page 2. So just this tiny bit here. There's like 3 stitches here. And probably a couple up here. And that's I say page 2. This is actually like page, I don't know, the bottom. The first page of the bottom row. Oops, nearly stabbed my fabric then. First page of the bottom row, second page of the bottom row, third page of the bottom row. But yeah, I really like it. I love the fact that I learnt a lot more about colour variations. As you can clearly see, this rabbit is half green, half blue, but by the time I got here, I was like, this is a green rabbit, this is a green rabbit. I do actually like the way that the flowers change colour, which obviously I haven't managed to keep. But I also really like how this is all green stripes, and this is a blue flower, and there's a green bits. There is a heart here that I'm going to be doing in orange, I think. If I remember to do that when I come back to this piece, I'm sure I will. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and it's looking good, and I'm happy I worked on it.